Ever feel like no matter how hard you try, you're just not getting ahead? If you're constantly exhausted, frustrated, and mentally drained, you might be heading towards burnout. In this video, we'll explore 10 surprising signs that work pressure is taking a toll on your health. Recognize these signs early, and you can turn things around before burnout takes over. Let's dive in. Sign 1. Constant fatigue. Are you always tired, even after a full night's sleep? It might seem normal to feel tired after a long day of work, but what if you wake up feeling exhausted even after a full night's sleep? This is one of the most obvious signs of burnout. When work pressure builds up over time, it doesn't just affect your productivity, it affects your body's ability to rest and recover. Sleep is supposed to restore you, but burnout makes it harder for your body to recharge. You may find yourself waking up tired and dragging through the day, no matter how much sleep you get. This persistent fatigue is your body's way of signaling that it's not coping well with the stress you're under. It's a clear indicator that burnout is taking a toll. If you're feeling constantly drained, it might be time to slow down and reassess your workload. Remember, ignoring this sign could lead to more serious health issues down the road. Taking a break and focusing on rest and recovery is the first step toward overcoming burnout. Sign 2. Lack of motivation. Do tasks that once excited you now feel like a chore? Work that once brought you joy and excitement now feels like an endless chore. If you've lost your passion for projects, meetings, and deadlines, burnout might be the cause. When you're burned out, it's not just that you're tired or stressed, it's that you're mentally and emotionally disconnected from your work. Tasks that used to motivate you now feel draining, and the thought of facing them brings no enthusiasm. This lack of interest in your work is a clear red flag. Burnout steals your motivation, and even small tasks can seem overwhelming. It might be hard to stay engaged or enthusiastic about goals and projects you once loved. If you're feeling indifferent or emotionally disconnected, it's time to pay attention. Feeling this way regularly is a sign that your mental and emotional energy are being drained, and it could lead to deeper burnout if ignored. Taking a step back and reevaluating your work environment, priorities, and mental health can help you regain that lost spark. Sign 3. Irritability or mood swings. Are you getting irritated by the smallest things? We all have days when little things set us off, but when everything seems to trigger irritation, whether it's a colleague's comment, a small mistake, or a minor inconvenience, burnout may be to blame. Constant work pressure can lead to emotional exhaustion, making it hard to stay calm and collected. Your patience wears thin, and things that normally wouldn't bother you become a big deal. If you've been feeling more short-tempered and frustrated than usual, it's not just a sign of stress, it's emotional burnout. When we're burned out, we have less emotional energy to deal with everyday challenges. This means we can get irritated over things that under normal circumstances would seem trivial. If you've noticed that you're snapping more often, it's time to step back and assess the source of your frustration. This emotional exhaustion can make your work relationships suffer and make it harder to focus. Recognizing the signs early and taking steps to recharge can help you regain your emotional balance. Sign 4. Increased anxiety. Can't stop worrying about work even at night? Is it hard to focus on tasks you've done 100 times? Does the thought of your to-do list make you anxious even when you're not working? Burnout can cause constant anxiety about work, making it feel like there's always something you need to do. Tasks that seem manageable when you're rested suddenly feel overwhelming. This kind of worry, which stays with you even outside of work hours, is a common sign of burnout. Instead of feeling a sense of accomplishment as you check off tasks, you may find yourself consumed by the fear of missing something. When burnout sets in, your mind races about deadlines, emails, and projects that need attention. This can create a constant state of mental fatigue that prevents you from truly resting. If you're losing sleep or feeling mentally drained thinking about work tasks, burnout could be the reason. It's a sign that your mind is overloaded and needs a break. Recognizing this anxiety early can help you slow down, delegate tasks, and focus on self-care to avoid further stress. Sign 5. Lack of focus. Is it hard to focus on tasks you've done 100 times? If you've noticed that tasks are taking longer than usual or that you're making mistakes you wouldn't normally make, burnout could be the reason. When you're mentally drained, it's harder to concentrate and stay on track. Burnout reduces your ability to focus, even on familiar tasks. The constant stress and pressure weigh on your mind, making it difficult to process information or think clearly. The frustration of not being able to do things as well as you used to only adds to the stress. You may find yourself having to redo work or take longer than usual to complete tasks. It's not about lack of effort, it's about mental fatigue. If you're not performing at your best, it's a sign that your body and mind mind are asking for a break. Prioritizing rest, setting boundaries, and managing your workload can help you regain focus and prevent further burnout. Sign 6. Physical symptoms. Are you feeling physical pain or tension that you didn't before? Burnout doesn't just affect your mind, it can also show up as physical symptoms. You might start noticing headaches, neck or back pain, muscle tension, or even digestive issues like stomach aches. These are all signs that stress is taking a toll on your body. When we're burned out, our bodies react to the emotional and mental strain we're under. It's common to feel physical discomfort when you're constantly under pressure. These physical symptoms are not just random, they're warning signs from your body that something needs to change. If you're experiencing persistent pain or discomfort that doesn't have a clear medical cause, it could be a result of burnout. Don't ignore these signs. Taking time to relax, manage stress, and prioritize self-care can help your body recover and avoid more serious health problems. Your physical health is just as important as your mental health, so listen to what your body is telling you. Sign 7. Feeling disconnected. Does your work feel meaningless or disconnected from your goals? When you no longer care about the work you're doing, burnout is likely the cause. If you've started feeling disconnected from your job as though you're just going through the motions, it's a clear indicator of burnout. This sense of detachment can make your work feel meaningless, even if you were passionate about it before. The pressure of ongoing stress can drain your energy and motivation, leaving you with little enthusiasm for what you once loved. When burnout strikes, it's easy to lose touch with your goals and sense of purpose. If you're feeling apathetic and disconnected, it's time to reassess your workload and priorities. Taking a break, setting new goals, and practicing self-reflection can help reignite your passion for your work. Sign 8. Decreased productivity. No matter how hard you work, do you feel like you're falling behind? Are you putting in more effort at work but still feel like you're falling further behind? This is a classic sign of burnout. The harder you try to keep up, the more exhausted and overwhelmed you become. When you're burned out, even the simplest tasks can feel like mountains. Despite working long hours or pushing yourself harder, the results just don't seem to reflect the effort. You might feel trapped in a never-ending cycle of work that never gets easier. This feeling of being stuck can cause a lot of frustration as you can't see any progress despite all your hard work. It can be discouraging and lead to feelings of hopelessness. If you recognize this, it's time to take a step back and rethink your approach. Burnout can distort your perception, making everything feel urgent, but the key is to slow down, prioritize, and delegate where you can. Burnout doesn't just affect your productivity, it affects how you see your own abilities. Recognizing this cycle early on can help you break free before burnout leads to deeper mental and physical health problems. Focus on self-care and seeking support to restore balance in your life. Sign 9. Constantly feeling overwhelmed. Does everything at work feel urgent and overwhelming? When every email, task, and phone call feels like an emergency, burnout is likely the cause. Burnout creates a constant state of urgency where everything feels like it needs to be dealt with right away. This can lead to a sense of overwhelming pressure, as if you're always running to keep up with an ever-growing list of things to do. The feeling that you must respond to everything immediately can lead to burnout, as it's impossible to stay on top of everything all the time. You start feeling like you're always on and never get a moment to relax. This constant rush can prevent you from focusing on important tasks and leave you mentally drained, said. If this sounds familiar, it might be a sign that you're dealing with burnout. It's essential to take control of the situation by prioritizing tasks, setting boundaries, and taking breaks. No task is so urgent that it should compromise your mental health. Recognizing this sense of urgency as a sign of burnout can help you step back, reassess your priorities, and regain control over your work and your time. Sign 10. Loss of interest in personal life. Is work taking over your personal life and leaving you with no time? Burnout doesn't just stay at work, it starts to invade your personal life. If you find that work is creeping into your evenings and weekends, or if you've stopped enjoying things you used to love outside of work, this is a clear sign burnout has taken over. You might find yourself canceling plans, skipping social events, or not feeling excited about hobbies and activities that once gave you joy. Burnout blurs the lines between work and personal life, leaving you with little time or energy to recharge. When everything starts to feel like one big to-do list, you lose touch with the things that bring you happiness and fulfillment outside of work. If you recognize this, it's a wake-up call. Your work-life balance is off, and you need to reclaim your personal time. Set boundaries, take time for yourself, and remember that relaxation and personal time are just as important as work. Reconnecting with things you enjoy and finding time to recharge can help you avoid deeper burnout and improve your mental and physical well-being. Burnout isn't something you have to face alone, and it's never too late to take control. If you recognize any of these signs in yourself, it's time to step back, reassess, and focus on your well-being. Don't wait until it's too late. Your health and happiness should always come first. If you found this video helpful, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Stay safe and take care of yourself.